Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of our weekly MMA talk show called Chokes and Eye Pokes. Before we go any further, please make sure to follow us on Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All of our social media is in the description, and we hope you enjoy this episode. I'm your host as always, Vern. I'm joined by my co-host, Jack. Jack, interesting weekend again, as always.
Yeah, I'm a bit scared to say goodbye to the belt, but we'll get there.
And no spoilers, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. Well, people already know what our picks were from last week, but I mean, there was a couple of interesting results. I mean, I can't say I'm surprised with some of them. It's just maybe the manner in which the finishes occurred.
Yeah,
a bit.
I'm also quite sad that the Wonderboy Thompson fight didn't go through. But the Derrick Lewis fight, well, I mean, it was a great fight to watch.
Yeah, I was quite surprised that Derrick Lewis wasn't on the main card in any event. But I know it was kind of like his last fight, possibly in the UFC, because I don't
His
think he's
contracts.
yeah. So I'm glad that they stepped up. Wonderboy, I can understand not wanting to fight. I mean, the other guy missed weight.
Yeah.
It's an interesting decision not to fight because he also didn't get paid. Didn't get a cent for that.
Yeah, but I think like at that point in his career, it's like when he fought, it was very similar with Till. Like same situation where like Till came in over the weight allowance, and then I think that Wonderboy, after he lost to Till, there wasn't like that kind of understanding of he was like he came in much heavier than you. And I think you just can't take those chances like at his stage now.
Yeah, true. That's true. But I mean, surely he would have known then that he wasn't going to get paid, or maybe would have told.
Yeah,
they would have told him. Because how it usually works is if you do take the fight, then obviously you still get your purse.
Yeah,
but then you get a percentage purse of your opponent because they miss weight. I think at 30% or something like that. So surely at the very least he took the 30% of his opponent's purse, but apparently he didn't get a cent. Maybe that's in the contract. Maybe that is the clause. Like you actually have to fight for that to go through.
Yeah.
But I think I don't really know. I mean, maybe they didn't. I can understand the UFC saying like it's like no work, no pay. But at the same time, I mean, they pay fighters a full purse to cut weight as alternates.
Yeah.
So they could have at least paid him his opponent's purse, like the full purse, because his opponent messed up.
Yeah, that would make sense. It is kind of brutal that he just like did a full camp now, like went to Salt Lake. Yeah, I mean that
39 years old. I mean, it's not good in the body.
Yeah,
it's not his fault that the fight didn't go through. So I would have paid him if well, you never know until you're in that position and money's on the line. But I think they should have paid him. To be honest with you, I mean,
yeah, I mean, I wonder what's his turnaround time now. I mean, who does he fight next?
Is the UFC going to be happy with him for pulling out? That's the thing. I mean, by not paying him, they're kind of already saying that they're not. So
yeah, shame.
Going to be interesting to see. But nonetheless, a very good card. The first matchup we had Holland versus Chiesa. What did you think of that?
I like Holland outclassed him. He couldn't hang with Holland. That was like I don't know. The moment that like things got like a little bit more hairy, and they were always hairy on the ground, so standing up. But as soon as he got like a little bit rocked or saw some adversity, like that shot, it just like he just opened himself up too much, and like credit to Holland for finding that guillotine.
Well, I said it a bunch of times. I still see Chiesa as a lightweight. And he looked like a lightweight in there. I mean, talk about ragdolling, about Chimaev ragdolling Holland.
Yeah,
Holland was ragdolling Chiesa in there. I don't know if he had a point to prove or not, but I mean, he
was
put it on him.
Yeah, outclassed
him. I mean, it was his third fight now in a row that Chiesa's lost there.
Hectic. Yes, he did look smaller. Absolutely. I don't know where he goes from here.
Yeah, well, Kevin Holland had some choice words for him. I don't know if you saw the statement. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay, so we'll put it up on the screen as well, just so that you guys can see what we're seeing. But basically, it's so ironic.
Did he say it was after the fight or before?
Post-fight press conference. So we'll pop it up on the screen now so you can see it as I read it. But basically, Kevin Holland said, this is by MMA Junkie, the game has circled and passed him and seriously left him. He said, retire, commentate, focus on your family. you're never going to get to a title.
Yo, that's harsh.
That's brutal, dude.
After you just beat him like that as well, that's disrespectful. Shame.
That's super disrespectful. I mean, he is right. Like, Chiesa wasn't. I mean, I'm not about the retire part.
Yeah.
I think dropped that back down to lightweight, but his cut to lightweight is actually also pretty brutal. So I think that's why I went up to welterweight. But Kevin Holland's Archer acting like we didn't just see him get ragdolled by Khamzat Chimaev as if he's this massive title contender that's going to fight for the title soon. Holland is nowhere near title contention.
Yeah. No.
I mean, he can get a string of victories, so that top 5 will smoke him.
No, I do agree. Shame. I don't know how I feel about that.
That's so brutal to like do that to somebody. It's like kicking someone when they're down, you know?
I don't think Chiesa's that bad. I know that like this was not a good performance, but like he still has some impressive stuff, especially before these 3 fights. Yeah. I guess at lightweight.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was ranked top. I stand corrected. He was top 5 at one stage at lightweight. I think he was top 5, and then when that bus incident happened with Conor, he was like quite high up on the lightweight rankings. But yeah, man, I'm not a fan, to be honest. I'm not a fan. Yeah. I don't know if I was like managing, I wouldn't know what to do because he can't make the cut to lightweight. Seems like it, and he can't hang at welterweight. But you do need these guys that. Man, I swear I'm always disrespectful in these episodes, but you need these guys to full cards, like card fillers.
Yeah.
So there are people, you know, people might call them journeymen for lack of a better term, but they're important to the sport because they can still be gatekeepers.
Yeah.
And up until a certain point and be that level, but at the same time they're never going to fight for the title again. They still play an important part.
Yeah.
So maybe he can be that guy.
I mean, he's good enough to be in the UFC still.
Yes, I agree with you there. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Whether he's going to like make a run for the title now. Yeah. I also don't think that's like the case.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Michael Chiesa, but
and then sorry. But,
what were you going to say?
Kevin moving up to middleweight. I don't think he's going to find that like as much success. I don't think that's the play for him.
Wait, did he say he wants to move up to middleweight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely missed that.
Yeah. In the Octagon post-fight interview.
In the Octagon?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I got up to go get some more snacks when he was doing his Octagon interview, so I completely missed that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's just so big in welterweight, and if he can make the cut, I think it makes so much sense. But like, in middleweight, he's like not that big. He's quite small.
So let's think about it this way, right? So he had this fight against Chiesa. He ragdolled him because Chiesa realistically is a lightweight.
Yeah. His
fight before that, you said it last week, you cannot unsee that ragdolling by Khamzat. Khamzat was 179 odd. So let's say like Khamzat was at middleweight. He'd weigh in at 185, and realistically he'd probably fight close to like 200, 205, whatever it is, 210.
Yeah.
Khamzat in that Kevin Holland fight was probably 190, 195, whatever he was, 200.
Yeah.
But he was like middleweight size. Maybe not even a big middleweight. And Kevin Holland got ragdolled. So what does he think he's going to do at middleweight against someone like Cannonier, who's huge?
Yeah.
If he even gets to that level. Because remember, with his luck, they'll probably put him up against like a Bo Nickel as his first fight. You know, no, probably not, because Bo Nickel's further ahead. But name me a middleweight, and I can't. I mean, that's relevant, and that's top 10, top 15. I can't see him hanging with him.
Yeah, no, same. Like him versus Paul Craig. Paul Craig would like dismantle him.
Yeah, dude, Paul Craig cut from light heavyweight, especially on the ground.
Yeah, I don't think that's the move.
No, stick to welterweight. I feel just go on diet.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like an Alderman Sterling moment. Like, don't do it, Alderman. Don't do it, Holland.
Yeah.
Speaking of retiring, because we don't know what Chiesa is going to do. Bobby Green and Tony Ferguson. So sorry, I got the Holland Chiesa result right. So I said Holland. Okay, so that's 1-0. Green Ferguson.
That's heartbreaking. That was actually quite sad to see, especially 5 seconds before like the last. There was 5 seconds left in the bell. I think he was doing like relatively well. I had him like towards the start. I think he won round 1.
Yeah, I also had that.
Round 2 was competitive. I would probably give it to Bobby.
Yeah.
Same. I think actually round 3 Bobby did one. Like I think. Do you think it's more competitive?
No, so I can see it going either way. That's the thing. Like, actually, if Tony had a chance if he didn't do that stupid Amanari roll.
Yeah.
He tried it in the second round, didn't work, and he tried it again. Credit to Tony. I mean, he's been doing that his whole career.
Yes.
But yeah, round 1, I just want to check. I think I had round 1. Yes, of course. Yeah, he dropped Bobby in that first round.
Yeah.
And then in round 2, the only reason why, so that was, I made sure to note it down. The only reason Bobby Green won that second round is because of Tony doing that stupid Amanari roll and having a brain fade again and being on bottom. You know what I mean? So it was 1-1 heading into that round. Tony didn't look bad. Like, he didn't look bad at all. He's just very slow and very sluggish compared to what he used to be. And I think it's especially with him, a guy like him, you compare him to what he used to be like. So even if he does okay or he does well, you're going to compare it to what he used to do, which was killer Tony, 12-fight win streak, So I don't know, man. We said it before the fight, win, lose, or draw. I think he should retire. I think he still should.
I don't think he's going to. The statement he released was Sunday. Yeah,
I've actually still also got it. I want to put it up on the screen. I think I made sure to get all these statements so we don't
misquote.
We don't misquote and we don't paraphrase. So first thing he said, unfortunately in sports, setbacks like these are part of the journey. While I won't use the eye poke as an excuse for the outcome, I know for a fact I have more to give. Moving forward, I plan to work closely with Dana, Hunter, and my entire team to assess what's next. Seems like he wants to carry on.
I mean, he's turning 40. That's the tail end of the career. I don't see the point in unless the motivation is to make as much money as possible now. Just that's the only reason that I can think. But I don't know. He just seems like the kind of guy that he wants to still face the hardest guys in the division.
Yeah, you're right. I think he's chasing the dragon. That's what we said last week as well. Like, he's big time chasing the dragon. I mean, even the pre-fight press conference, he was saying the best is yet to come. I've only reached my prime now. And I was listening to that thinking, dude, please, please don't. I really hope for his sake, I don't know what his contract situation is, but I really hope the UFC doesn't let him fight again.
Yeah.
Even against an unranked opponent, because I don't know what the point is. Like, what's the point now? He's got nothing left to prove. I think he should have retired 3 fights ago, possibly.
Well, the Nate Diaz one, that would have been a great one to retire on.
I mean, but even before that, he's 0-6 in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Before that, he was 12-0 in 6 years. So he's doing the same fight frequency. He's just losing now. And he's taking so much unnecessary damage, dude. Now, he didn't tap for that. So that you don't know what the long-term effects could be of that.
Yeah.
There was another time when he was in an armbar situation and he was screaming. Like, that should have actually been a verbal submission. Didn't tap. I think there was a heel hook situation as well. Essentially snapped his knee up.
I think it was Charles that broke his arm.
Yeah. I think it was in the Charles Oliveira fight. Like, he had him. It was
hyperextended. Yeah, that was insane. Yeah.
So what is the point of that? I don't think it's for money. He got paid about $500,000, $440,000 or something like that for this fight. Unless he's burning through cash real fast. I just think he thinks he's better than he is right now. I think he thinks he is where he was when he was the boogeyman of the division. When he was literally the Al Kukui of the division. He was 12-fight win streak. And he's not there anymore, and maybe it's just tough for him to let go of the fact that he's not there anymore.
Yeah. I think, especially with what you said with him being slower, so much of his style was being fluid and a fluid movement, and then being imaginative with that movement. So that's when you could throw your what's a double circle and then hit them with 2 sets of elbows. You can't do that if you're slow at 40.
I think he even went for Rolling Thunder a bunch of times, which is where you basically do a forward roll and try kick the dude in the head.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's just gonna do himself unnecessary damage in his career right now. To his health, his career actually, he's still a legend, you know. But
Well, yeah, I mean, like when he retires within that year, it's Hall of Fame, you know.
Within a year from there, for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, man, I mean, 0-6 in your last,
Yeah.
the last 3 years is. I don't think the eye poke was intentional. I don't think it maybe swayed the momentum a little bit, but you know, that's kind of for me chasing an excuse.
Yeah, same. I do agree.
But yeah, man. Hopefully he retires after this for his health. You know, for his family's sake, for his sake. Like hopefully.
Or like Justin said, like put it really, really well. Whereas like it's not. It was it. And I don't want to misquote. I'm just gonna. It was. I believe he said, like it's not up to me, but if I'm ever at that point, I hope that there's someone that loves me enough to just like have that conversation. You know, like.
Well, it's one thing having that conversation. It's another thing for you to actually listen.
Yeah.
So maybe someone has told him, but he just doesn't want to listen.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I got that one right. So it was 2-0. So I got green. Then we had so the Wonder Boy fight never happened because Pereira missed weight. So they bumped up Lewis to Lima. I'm so happy they did that because it should have been on the main card. Derrick Lewis. Nice KO.
Yeah.
solid KO. 238-year-olds going at it, dude. What do you make of that? As quick as it lasted.
That was such what a way to open as well with just that flying knee. Yeah, really, really entertaining. It was great to see. You know, like Derrick Lewis can still hang with him.
I love Derrick Lewis, man. He's so funny, dude. His Instagram's the best.
Yeah.
Have you seen his Instagram? He's just got this tagline, he's okay. And then it's just like people getting hurt, like really badly hurt. And then he's like, he's okay. And then sometimes he posts something and then it doesn't have he's okay. And then the comments are like, is he okay? Is he okay? So hilarious. Yeah. Plus, hey, bro, Derrick's balls were hard again, bro. In the octagon afterwards. That was funny, man. Yeah. So I was expecting him to ask where Ronda Rousey was at again. But
did you see the post-fight press conference? The one interviewer opened up by saying, like, do you hear she's returning to the sport? How excited are you? Yeah.
Did you ask about me?
Yeah.
But hey, look, Derrick, they got to re-sign him. I mean, Chael Sonnen said it straight away when they had the discussion afterwards, the panel discussion. Like, you got to re-sign him. I mean, the entertainment factor alone. Yeah, so I think they should. Definitely think they should re-sign Derrick Lewis. I mean, this is the first time he says that he actually like properly stuck to his diet and he properly stuck to his training session. He might have missed 1 or 2 sessions. I forget, I'm paraphrasing here. I don't want to turn this into quotes and eye pokes, but you know what I mean? So look, dude, he looked awesome at the weigh-ins. People were talking about him having abs at 260 or whatever he was weighing.
It looked great.
It looked good, So look, I mean, you can fight, depending on who you are, you can fight into your 40s, you know, and he's had some tough losses like Pavlovich and Spivak. So those are tough losses, but I mean, even the Pavlovich losses, it was early. So I don't think he's taken unnecessary damage, and he's still entertaining, dude. He's like Tai Tuivasa, like a Mark Hunt, but he's good on the mic. He's funny.
Yeah. So
I think they'll re-sign him because you don't want him going to like a PFL or, you know, probably not one, but like PFL or somewhere like that, and then getting all those eyes on PFL, and then people getting excited about him and Ngannou, and you know.
Yeah, that would be. They didn't ever fight.
I don't think so. No, they didn't fight. So they could actually build that, because that would be quite cool if Derrick can build some momentum. Then you could possibly say like, you know, Ngannou, because, well, I don't know. Again, like Ngannou, I don't know what it's going to be like if he gets brutally KO'd by Tyson Fury. What does that do to his brand? So maybe he just tells a PFL to like shove it because he's made enough money off of the boxing match.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's really great to see Derrick stay. I mean, like, how long has he been in the UFC?
Looking at it today, actually, luckily enough, I'm glad because I wouldn't have known the answer, because I don't know the exact answer. 2014. Yeah, I think he started at like 9-2, something like that, like really early on. And I mean, he's only lost to good guys, you know. Matt Mitrione, at the time he lost him, was really good. Okay, he, like, old meathead, that's his nickname. He was like up and down again. I think actually Matt Mitrione might have beat Fedor Emelianenko actually
Crazy.
in Strikeforce. Yeah. So he lost to him. He lost to Junior Dos Santos. He lost to Spivak. He lost to Pavlovich. He's lost to who else has he lost to recently? Back really only like good guys.
Yeah.
So
And it's so hard to build like a really good record in heavyweight as well. I mean, like Stipe is like greatest of all time, and he has like 3 title defenses.
Exactly. So it's gonna be interesting, dude. I mean, look, from an entertainment standpoint, people always wanna like again, he's got everything. So like he's got the fighting ability, he's entertaining, he's always going for a knockout, he's funny on the mic, so he can talk. At the beginning he was kind of like offish with media, but now he's like good with media still. He has been for years. So everything is is there. So for like a hardcore fan, they'll like him. For a casual fan, they'll like him. So I think the UFC will re-sign him. You know, maybe makes a bit more money than what he was before. But yeah. Derrick Lewis, that one doesn't count because funnily enough, I don't even know if I would have gone for Lewis, to be honest with you. Like, I never liked to bet against him, but the Lima had a lot of ways to beat him. But I think the way that he opened just made him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would have gone for him, so we can count that.
Yeah, hindsight. Hindsight's 2020. Okay. Then we had the light heavyweight. We had Jan Błachowicz lost to Alex Pereira, split decision.
Yeah.
How did you have this one?
I had it 29-28 to Alex. I think that for it to be split, I mean, Jan round 1, sure. No, sorry, I'm saying Alex round 1, sorry. And then Jan round 2. And then I think Alex won the 3rd one. I think the only like kind of like muddling or like not sure it was that takedown towards the end, but like there was no damage on the top. Like Jan was just trying to rest. He couldn't hang with him on the feet, and that's like he just needed to get him down so he could rest. Like there was like I don't think there was a single like ground, like there was no attempt. He was just trying to like hold him down because he couldn't hang.
Well, first off, Alex Pereira has clearly been working on his striking.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before we even get to that, dude, he looked really good at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
He looked the same without abs, basically. Like he looked good, you know. Yeah. He carried the weight well. His power did translate. Okay, Jan, I mean, the guy's chins are better up at light heavyweight probably because they're more powerful. They used to more powerful shots.
Yeah.
He looked good. He looked really good. I don't know if he's ready maybe yet to challenge, but I guess, doesn't get much tougher than Jan. But he's clearly been working on his ground. Pereira has. Because
he was dangerous off the ground. He was like shooting, well, I don't know. He wasn't like just like flailing. And I think I'm thinking about again that last takedown. He was getting strikes on Jan.
He was moving all the time. He was trying to actually be active. He was trying to get to his feet, got back to his feet. Yeah. I agree with you. The story of this fight is, yes, on paper, like Jan had the 3 takedowns to 0. I agree it was 1-1 going into that 3rd round. I actually think you could score it for Jan if you score it on the criteria of controlling. So, yes, he didn't do much damage, okay, but how many times have we seen Habib and Islam take someone down a couple of rounds and not do much damage, but then they get these dominating scorecards. Yes, they end up doing it eventually because they tire the people out, but up until the point where they tire them out, they're not doing that much damage. It's more just control. Yeah. It's like the Dagestani scarf where you can't get up, and then, it's not like it's a couple of punches maybe here and there. It is domination in terms of position. I mean, you're still in the dominant position. You're on top. Yeah. So that should count for something. But I do agree, he didn't do any damage. But at the same time, if you're mounted, as an example, let's say I mount you, and all I try to do is smother choke you. So in other words, I just push my chest or my solar plexus into your face. Yeah. And like throw the odd punch here and there, but I do 0 damage. I'm still controlling you because you can't get out. So I actually had that 3rd round to Jan. I had it 2 rounds to 1. Yeah. But again, it's so subjective. Judging is so subjective, and MMA is so subjective that they gave it the other way. And it was a split decision too. Yeah. So it was close. Yeah. But I mean,
I hear what you're saying. That makes sense. Yeah.
Jan looked a little bit, I don't know if he was tired or what it was, but like you say, when he went for that takedown, it was literally just to
rest. Yeah, I think so.
And you could see afterwards.
Yeah, But I also like Alex just kept a good pace the whole time,
Mm.
and that's what was really nice to see is like how well he translated between the two. I was actually in prepping for this fight. I checked his fight against that American kickboxer. I forget his name. Wait 1 second.
Was it in Glory or in?
Yeah, in Glory. It was Dustin Jacoby.
Mm.
That was
He was actually on this card.
Yeah.
This weekend.
And like, he's always been good at light heavyweight. Like he can, I don't know. It's crazy to see him kind of go between those two, and like there's no difference that I can see. You know,
he wants to actually. He said now he wants to do a trilogy fight with Izzy at 85. Yeah, so he wants to go back down. Be interesting to see.
I think he still beats Izzy. I think that like.
Possibly. Why? I mean, sorry, I cut you off there. But what's your thinking behind that?
I just like the way those two match up. It's just like I think that Izzy got him last time, but like 7 fights out of 10, Alex is going to win.
Depends what his game plan is. I think he rushed in a little bit too much, and Izzy did bait him with the same. Like if you go look in the first fight, it was almost like identical positions.
Yeah.
But Izzy has had his guard a little bit higher and was just waiting for that opening and then clipped him.
Yeah.
And perfection. Put him out. But I do agree, probably, I mean, there's the formula to beat Izzy is there. Okay, yes, Pereira got a TKO against him standing. Okay, in kickboxing, he knocked him out, but that's kickboxing.
Yeah.
But the blueprint is what Jan Błachowicz did. It's
take him to the ground.
Take him to the ground. It's what... I don't think Sean Strickland's going to be able to do that. And that's why I think he's going to lose if that fight happens. It's what Dricus would have to do if he fights him. It's saying we've sound like a broke record. We've been saying it over and over. Yeah. Cannonier should do that if he gets a chance. If he gets, if Strickland doesn't get this fight now, he should just gun for that takedown. Like 99 times, and in the 100th time, he'll get it. And if you get it and you have a submission threat, you can finish Izzy on the ground. Definitely.
Yeah.
I think you should try to do that. That's what he did in the first fight. I mean, just to like sort of loosen Izzy up. So
yeah, no, I do agree. But all around, good matchup. I like. I didn't think. Well, I had Jan. And I just saw it going different. I thought that the size difference would be bigger because Alex looked like the bigger fighter.
Yeah, and I thought also Jan would have more tools to beat him, but Alex obviously game plan is everything.
Yeah.
So that one we both got wrong, unfortunately. And then we went to the main event, which was Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier, which you got right. You got Justin Gaethje. Man, I did not expect it to end that way.
Yeah, that like Leon Edwards head kick. Yeah.
Almost exactly the same, man. I was watching it like Dustin was doing well in the first round, like I thought he would do.
Yeah.
And then in the second round, dude, just out of nowhere, it was just, and he was out, eh? It was, his eyes were in the back of his head, like out completely.
Yeah. I think that was his key to victory. I think that if it had gone past the second, like then Dustin would have taken it. I mean, just from the success he had in the first round,
busted him up.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a chess match. But yeah, I think he had him on the ropes in the first round as well. Yeah, he had him rocked.
Strategy's everything.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the thing. Working with Trevor Whitman, people have said it's changed. It could be good. It could be bad. So far, so good.
Yeah.
So now he's the BMF champion.
Yeah.
Dude, oh man. Did you see Conor McGregor talking about him afterwards? He's like, yo, I'll whip you easily. And he's like, I don't fight untested athletes or something like that. I don't fight doping athletes.
Yeah, someone on steroids.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, Conor McGregor, dude, why? He's always like just chirping from the sides. Like, the UFC literally gives him his drug, which is relevance and clout, I feel.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps hanging around. He doesn't need the money.
But it just gets like worse and like more and more stale. Like, because if he jumps in at like whatever weight class now, you can't beat anyone in the top 10. Maybe some people at welterweight.
The thing is, we spoke about Tony Ferguson thinking he is what he was, 4 years ago. I think Conor still thinks he is what he was.
Yeah.
Back when he was at his peak. I think he thinks his jokes and his tweets and his Mystic Mac and all that is what it was back
Yeah.
you know, 5,
Well, he's really
6 years ago. It's not. It's really actually just
cringe.
Yeah.
King of cringe.
I won't put it past Henry Cejudo just yet, but he is. It is for me. You know, it's actually sad. Like he should know when to walk away. And it's easy, obviously, for us to sit and say this because, you know, we'll never probably experience that high, probably, if you want to call it that, you know, of what they experience. But from an outside perspective, it just looks really cringy. Like he just sold his millionth can of forged lager ale, or of his forged stout. Stick to that, go make your money, do your business. Like just go do that. Just go fly under the radar for a couple of years, you know. I say with all my years and billions of wisdom, you know.
With your 2 gold.
Yeah, there we go. With my 4th week of winning this, so I'm allowed to impart this wisdom on you, Conor McGregor. Yes. I have what you don't have. So yeah. Out of 10, what are you giving the card?
10. No, sorry, no, not a 10. Sorry, that was a gut response. I was a little bit underwhelmed, honestly. I would say 6.75.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah. I'm actually gonna go higher than you. I'd give it a 7.2.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I think the flying knee, balls was hot. Just the finishes. It would have maybe been a bit higher, but Tony, I mean, come on, it's a bit sad.
That's what
sad for Dustin as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone had to lose in that main event.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And it has to be knocked down because it's got a stupid BMF title in there.
But to go back to that fight, just as a quick side note, it was I was watching their first fight versus this one, and like just to see Justin's defense strategy change is really impressive. Because if you look at the first fight, he's always balled up, and like it's just like attack, ball up, and in those ball ups, then like that's where Dustin just got all the success, because you know that like he was just blocking. He was blocking his vision to catch all these strikes, but now in this fight, every time Dustin came in, he just like bobbing and weaving and then like counter punching, and he had so much more success there.
He was inviting damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got it this weekend. Sorry, Jack. Better luck next time. Speaking of Tony Ferguson, as we said last week, this would be our top 5 this week. So this week we've gone for a top 5 Tony Ferguson moments throughout his career. So this is our weekly top 5. So Jack, I think I went first last week, so I'll give you the honors of going first this week.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I have so I have my top 5. I haven't like fully settled on the order, so it might be a little bit roundabout. But okay, for now, in at number 5, I have his comeback against Venata. So in that fight, essentially, so the first round he got like badly rocked. It was so close to being finished. Like Venata gets him, and he's like swirling around. He's like essentially like Imanari rolling just to like not get hit. And then the second round like comes in with these elbows, like vicious elbows, and then gets the DAS choke. And you like to finish on a DAS. I think that's also like, I don't know. I associate DAS with Tony because you know, like everyone knows a DAS choke, but you don't really see them that often. Or like maybe more nowadays, like it's a more common submission. But like for a long time, like he was the only one doing DAS chokes, and that was like every single fight.
He had a high success rate as well.
Yeah. So that's my number 5. In at number 4, I have the Barbosa one. So I mean, like what a like crazy fight, and just the elbows that he gets him with, like just catching him the whole time, and like how fluid that entire fight was, just in terms of like how he managed to dance around him and just catch Barbosa, who at the time was like he was one of like he is the man. Like, still. So that's in number 4. In at number 3, I mean, very similar, just with RDA. So yeah, just that's also. I mean, those are my 2 favorite fights of actually it's RDA, Barbosa, and then Pettis is probably the best. But RDA, just again, also like super fluid with the elbows, the way he was like able to dance with him, and like literally dance, and then like duck, and while dancing like catch him. Yeah, I think that's in at number 3. In at number 2, I have the really, really awkward interview with DC, where they're just talking about Khabib, and it's like quite painful how awkward and cringy it is. But like, I love it for that. When he's talking to DC and he's like, let's move on, DC, and it's just like DC's literally trying to move on and talk about their fight with Chandler, and it's just like super awkward. So that's in at number 2.
Like Tony in a nutshell.
Yeah, and he's just like smiling at the camera, like, oh, yeah, very awkward. And then in at number 1 is like that quintessential moment. It's the Pettis fight, when he's like covered in Pettis's blood, and like he's just like, it's ringside, it's in between rounds. I think it was the 4th or the 3rd, and he's like literally just like hopping. He's hopping and smiling at Pettis, and they're like calling to one another, and like, yeah, it's been a brutal fight up until that point, and it continues to be brutal. Yeah.
And Dr. Stoppage at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool list, man. I think I almost went for the RDA one as well, but I'm glad we've got some differences. Yeah. And I'm glad we've actually got one that's not a fight. That's a moment. So, okay. I also was kind of looking at what the order was going to be, but I've gone for his fight with Gleison Tibau. So at the time, Gleison Tibau's probably actually beaten Khabib. Like, a lot of people feel he won that fight, and Gleison Tibau was very, very tough, a very, very tough fight. So he was also on a 3-fight win streak. He just swarmed him and overwhelmed him, and really put him away, and sort of put a stamp on like being there, and started to really build his streak with that one. After that, I've also gone for Barbosa. So it just showed how durable Tony was going to be, or how durable Tony was. And he started with all these weird attacks and weird rolls and that kind of thing. It's such a Tony Ferguson thing to do. And yeah, like you said, he was super dangerous, Barbosa was at the time. I mean, I think he just hit that spinning back kick to the guy. I forget who it was, and knocked him out, head kick. And Tony just put it to him, and this was now his 7-fight win streak. In at number 2, I was torn between going for Pettis in at number 3 actually, torn between Pettis and at my actual number 2. So I went for Pettis number 3. So this was a fight of the night. There's blood everywhere, exactly like you say. Like, he completely picked Pettis apart. And Anthony Pettis, probably could call him Tony. Anthony Pettis was like still a complete savage that time, and it was just like tit for tat. Like, who's gonna give, and that's where he also like showed how much durability he had. I think that was his 11th fight in his streak. And then I've gone for the Cerrone fight because it was fight number 12. Really put him as the boogeyman. This is my number 2. Donald Cerrone was number 4 at the time, I believe. This was his 12th win. He broke Cerrone. He's had a bit of a win streak as well. Another fight of the night. This is where he really went and like showed his durability, and also outlasted Cerrone, because Cerrone was game as well at that time, and he was a savage at that time. Dr. Stoppage, dude, for closed eyes. Yeah,
that hematoma.
Yeah, that was insane. It was just like, and Tony Ferguson was just like, it didn't even look like that type of fight would like phase him. And that's when it was like the 12th win streak. That was like, everyone was campaigning for a title fight. Yeah. The Khabib fight had been cancelled a bunch of times. Like, people really said, like, you've earned your nickname even before that, but that just put a rubber stamp on it. So that's my number 2. Yeah. In at number 1, it's a moment as well. It's the time where he was sitting with Fabricio Verdum. They were sitting at like, it looks like an Olive Garden, or I don't know what it is. Yeah. And he's sitting there like on a mic like this, having an interview. And Fabricio Verdum's just talking loud in the background. He's like, hold on, I'm talking here, brother. And then Fabricio Verdum is a heavyweight. Tony Ferguson is a lightweight. Yeah. Go at it. Like, stand up, get up, go at it. And then he's like Fabricio Verdum's like mouthing off in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson's mouthing off in Spanish. So Fabricio Verdum mouths back off in Portuguese. You speak Portuguese. I don't understand you. And then he's like, have fun, like some classic one-liners. He's like, have fun fighting on my undercard. He's like, why don't you shut up and sit down before I ankle pick you? To the heavyweight champion of the world, mind you, at the time.
Yeah.
So that's my number one moment. Like it has to be. That's classic Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
Awkward, weird, funny. Like you can't put words on that. So that was our weekly top 5. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you agree with it. If you don't agree with it, let us know what your top 5 moments are, and tune in next week for another top 5 moments. So long, I don't know what it's going to be yet, but yeah, it'll be something related to the episode as always.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you know who Bradley Martyn is. I'm sure you do.
Mm-mm.
So Bradley Martyn is, I think he weighs I don't know, he's a bodybuilding YouTuber.
Yeah.
He's the guy, I don't know if you ever saw a guy squat on a hoverboard or do squats like where there's a girl sitting on either side of the bar and then he squats them or benches them, that kind of stuff. If I show you a picture, you'll know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know who he is, we'll pop a picture up right here so you can see. But lately, his whole thing is asking fighters, like small fighters, like I think he asked Haney from the boxer for his fight. He was like, do you think you could take me in a street fight? Like that's his question now to everybody. He asked Nate Diaz the other day, do you think you could take me in a street fight?
Yeah.
And then always they're like, yeah, I think I can take you. I mean, they're fighters, they're going to say it. And then he goes, I'm 260 though, bro. I'm 260 though. Like that's his standard response.
Yeah.
And Sean O'Malley's also weighed in, like he reckons like he would be able to beat Haney, like Devin Haney, because he's so big. Like if he grabs a hold of him. And that's also his other response. Like, what if I grab a hold of you, bro? What if I grab a hold of you? But now he's actually got a challenger.
Okay.
Do you want to guess? It's a very small, mighty fighter.
Oh, Demetrious Johnson.
Demetrious Johnson has said he'll take the fight.
Yeah. That makes me think of, did you ever see that grappling exchange between Dustin Poirier and the Mountain?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
And like, I know, I think that like you can submit someone that's bigger than you. Yeah.
You can. So first off, if you grapple somebody, the guy that started Rio Grappling Club, which is the affiliation that we have where I do jiu-jitsu, is a 6th degree black belt, Roberto Atala.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 6th degree black belt, like he's trained with the Gracies, like he's all the way, like the lineage is all the way back to the Gracies, right?
Yeah.
We were having this discussion about skill versus size because jiu-jitsu is made for a small person. This is like the best way jiu-jitsu was explained for me years ago. Like it's made so a small person can be comfortable with a big person on top of them and eventually wear them out and submit them or submit them straight away.
Yeah.
The issue is the wearing out bit because there is something that's too big. And this is what Roberto was saying. There is too much of a gap in size. And I think Demetrious Johnson, 125 pounds, Bradley Martyn also, like Bradley Martyn is not, first of all, he's strong as hell, like really strong. He's also not a novice. Like he's trained in jiu-jitsu before. And there is something that's too big. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like two Demetrious Johnsons. Well, more
pretty much, yeah, 250. Well, basically, Demetrious Johnson fights at 125. So you'll probably be a little bit bigger. The thing is, though, if it's a fight, Demetrious... So in a grappling match, Demetrious Johnson, probably it will probably be a draw because unless Bradley Martyn gets super tired, Demetrious Johnson hops on his back, he can still choke him out. But even then, with the size and the strength, you can still rip the arms off. Like it's not. I mean, strength does play a part. Even if someone tries to armbar you, you can. If the guy's small enough, you can just unstraighten your arm.
Yeah.
If it's a fight, though, I don't know how Demetrious Johnson is going to leg lock him. Like he's going to have to dive on a leg or something because size makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about kicking. If you like someone that's like so much bigger than you, you can just kick them. Well, like kick the small one.
Yeah, I mean even just a punch. Like Demetrious Johnson will clearly need a big octagon setting.
Yeah.
But that being said, though, so I've got a story, and I'm by no means a fighter, but maybe it's relatable to Bradley Martyn because maybe at the time my skill level was exactly like his.
Yeah.
So once we went to, so in PE, there's a military base. And at that military base, there's like a boxing club. And there's guys there that are in the 115, 125 pound like sort of category, boxers. They've had 110 amateur fights at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and boxed one of the people. So I think I weighed, in pounds, I weighed probably 200. And these guys were 125. I promise you, I could not get close to them. I couldn't even try to grab them. They were that quick and evasive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you're running after someone for 15 minutes and you get super tired and they go, okay, no, now I'm going to take my time, there is a chance.
Yeah.
But more than likely, Demetrious Johnson is too short, too small. I love Demetrious Johnson, but more than likely, if Bradley Martyn gets a hold of him, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, because if he gets wrist control or something, then that's...
Yeah, I mean, just the top pressure alone, like if he actually gets on top of you.
Yeah.
But just to throw another spin on it, Mikey Musumeci, the guy that I spoke about last week that only eats pizza, pasta, and acai.
Yeah.
There's a clip of him at ADCC fight. I believe it was a black belt he was fighting. That he had a match against. Let me rather not say fighting. He's also in that sort of weight category, like 115, 125 odd. And he actually beat the dude. I mean, he was elevating the guy's hips and doing butterfly guard and all this kind of stuff. And he actually beat the dude on an advantage, I believe, but he still beat him. And the guy was also like massive, like 250 pounds plus. So it is possible. But I just don't know, man. I don't know what you would stand to gain from that. I don't think Bradley Martyn takes that, to be honest. I wouldn't want to take that.
Seriously, from Bradley's side.
Because if he, what do you stand to gain?
Yeah.
What do you stand to gain, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose just like us talking about it is kind of enough for him. You know?
Stick to YouTube, man. I think that's the stick to gym.
Yeah. It would be nice to see him like getting like pieced up by Demetrious Johnson.
Yeah.
Like a David versus Goliath.
Skill-wise, Demetrious obviously has got all the skill, but like strength on it obviously plays a part. I mean, it's why there's weight divisions. So just thought it'd be interesting. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. But I don't even know where it would happen. One?
Yeah.
I don't think one would sanction that. So
I want to see Demetrious Johnson versus BK first.
I'd like to see that. So I want to know why BK and Jared Brooks hasn't been made yet. Like I keep asking why they don't want to make that fight. Like that is the obvious fight. Like BK's just beat Manoa, who was, I think it was number 2 versus number 3. Now I think for some reason they don't want him to fight Brooks. But I'm here like no, but I saw something today that Jared Brooks actually wants to grapple Mikey Musumeci. So, you know, I've heard Jared Brooks saying he wants to fight Demetrious Johnson because Demetrious Johnson doesn't have many fights left.
Yeah.
I've also had BK here saying like he'd love to fight Demetrious Johnson one day. Yeah. So I think if you don't make BK versus Jared Brooks goes and does the Mikey Musumeci thing, let BK do it. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stretch. Like, you know, and obviously we're super biased because he's South African, but like if BK was in line for a title, okay, it doesn't mean he might, you know, it doesn't mean he'll beat Jared Brooks. Maybe he needs to beat Jared Brooks first to then go up and then have champion versus champion. But if Demetrious doesn't, I don't know if he's got a fight or not, but let BK test himself, man.
Yeah. It'd be like, I think that's a dream matchup.
It's a no-lose fight for one because BK is not supposed to win.
Yeah.
And if Demetrious Johnson loses, then he's going to retire in any event. So why not? I'd like that fight, but maybe we're just dreaming. Yeah. It's our dream card. Quick other side note. I don't know if you saw Themba Gorimbo got to meet The Rock finally.
I did, and he cried. That was really sweet.
Yeah. I saw The Rock. I actually messaged Themba when I saw The Rock tweeted him.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, I might get to meet him and like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, man, I really hope like you get a chance to do it. It's such a wholesome moment, dude.
Yeah.
Like when he's got that interview, The Rock comes behind him and then he's just like lost for words, hugs him again. Like that's so awesome, man. That was cool from The Rock doing that. And I heard The Rock's actually like going to properly take care of him.
Nice.
He's going to make sure that like he's got to give him a place to stay. Apparently it's like he's gifted him a house. Like he's going to sponsor him.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah. I mean, because his story from what I've seen so far is really, really like. I mean, I saw his stories that he shared. Like he came to South Africa, worked like as a gardener. He worked in diamond mines. Like he's got stories of like getting attacked by dogs, like in the mines. It's really, really inspirational. So it would be really, really cool if what I've seen. Like they say, The Rock is going to happen, And I've actually got him on my UFC Africa card that I'm going to release soon. So I've got him up on there as well. That'd be very, very cool.
The Rock.
The Rock, yeah. Maybe The Rock can come present things. Yeah. Maybe, So that'd be very, very cool. Yeah, very cool to see. And I think it's about time for us to get into our preview of the UFC fight night. So Sandhagen versus Font, no longer versus Makhmedov.
Yeah.
And I will cover the first match. Ignacio Bahamondes versus Ľudovít Klein. What are we saying for this one?
Ignacio. To me, very clear. I mean, he's also he lost his debut, I think. But Klein.
Yeah, I'll say Klein. He's South African.
Yeah, he hasn't been impressive to me. I think that he folds. I like watching. There's so much tape on him, and I don't know. I was looking at his last couple of fights. I don't see that much like of a dog, in someone. I think that like when he faces adversity, then like he just stops, and I think Ignacio has enough skill just for me to say I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, Klein in his last fight against Herbert, he actually it was a draw, but Herbert had a point deducted, so he was kind of lucky there. I agree with you. His record's good. He's 19-4-1. Yes. He's only 28 years old, but I do agree with you. I think with Ignacio as well now, 2-fight win streak. He's much, much quicker and much, much more explosive. I've also got Ignacio to win by KO. I've put by KO. Yeah, everything you said pretty much, and just the fact that, yeah, man, his attributes are better.
Yes.
For this fight. So okay, we're both going for Ignacio. Then we've got at light heavyweight, we've got Tana Boser versus Aleksa Camur. What are you saying for this one?
I have Tana.
You got Tana?
Yeah.
Okay, me too.
Why?
So in this one, Aleksa's also on a 2-fight losing streak. They're both on a 2-fight losing streak. I just feel like Tana's got more experience in this.
Yes.
And he's been in the UFC much longer. And Aleksa, I think it was a loss in his first fight, I beleave. I can't remember now.
He is young.
No. It wasn't him. It was Lopes. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, he's a little bit inexperienced. 6-2. Yes, Boser's got 20 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw. But I just think that experience in the UFC counts for something. Even though Tana's 3-6 in the UFC.
Yeah,
it is a bit tough to call. Like, I don't know if Aleksa could win this. But yeah, Tana, just for that experience, I feel.
Yeah. I think he's also like he's relative. I don't know. He's good on the feet. I mean, like good enough to win. I think. But yeah, also not a great run.
No, yeah, I'm not as excited for this one as I am for some of the other ones. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Tana this time. So
yeah,
just so you don't think I'm copying you, I'm gonna go first in the next one.
Okay.
So we got Tucker versus Lopes. I'm going to go for Lopes in this one.
Yeah.
Tucker did lose to Ige. He has more oxygen, more octagon experience. Yeah. But he's very old. He's going to come off a fairly long layoff. And I feel like Lopes, 28 years old, is going to win probably by decision. Even though he lost his last fight or his first fight on his debut. That was the one where I was talking about him losing his first fight. So 21-6, also a little bit more experienced than Tucker, even though he is younger. But yeah, that layoff and the age of Tucker's like what, 37 or something like that. So I'm gonna go decision for Lopes.
It was actually I have the exact same for the same reasons. It was a tough one because like Tucker is he's been around for a while. He's like fought the who's who. He was on a pretty good tape before the Danny Ige fight as well. But like for the same reasons, I also think he's like a little bit old. I think Lopes has a lot to prove.
Hasn't fought for a year, pretty much. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got the 3 same picks. Okay, next fight. I'm gonna go first again if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
So we got Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Dustin Jacoby.
Yeah.
So Dustin's on a 2-fight losing streak, but he was undefeated the 9 before.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good technically with his kickboxing.
Yes.
Kennedy, though, 3-fight win streak, very explosive, and I feel like he's always improving.
Yeah.
He's 12-3, so a good record on the up.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin's at his 18-7, but was on a very, very good run before his losses.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Kennedy for this one, just with that explosiveness and the fact that he's always improving. I think he'll be quicker to the punch, and he's got a lot more power, I feel.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for a TKO.
Okay.
I don't know what round though. Early, probably early. I think if he hits him, he's gonna stay hit and to steal a line out of cricket. But I'm gonna go for Kennedy on this one. And you?
Kennedy as well.
Yes. The same, what are the chances, man?
We'll see the last 2.
Well, look, the thing is, so firstly, let's get there. But firstly, why? Why do you say Kennedy?
Also, just really impressive. I think so. This is 14 versus 15, and I don't know. Like Dustin, he's just been like not as impressive, and Kennedy, like I also see like he's got more momentum. I think that the reason that they're facing each other right now, and Kennedy is also the favorite, is like I don't know, it's kind of like a passing of the torch almost. Like Dustin's also, he's getting like relatively old. He's like he's experienced, he has a good career, he's good all around, like good kickboxer.
He's not a walkover at all.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I think that Kennedy's he has been really impressive. I think that he walks away with the win.
Yeah, you got these fights where it's like a proving yourself kind of fight, and it's like, okay, well, now we know you're good, but like this is the next step and the next step and the next step, and yeah, Jacoby is that next step for Kennedy. Okay, so then we've also got, so what is that now? 4 of the same, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Next we've got Jéssica Andrade versus Suarez.
Yo,
for this one,
tough one to call.
Do you want to go first?
Yes.
Or do you want to do the Sandhagen one first?
Yeah, let's do Sandhagen one first.
You want to do Sandhagen first?
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay, so I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've got, first off, Andrade is on a 2-fight losing streak. We have Suarez, just some key factors. She does have a win over so this is at strawweight, but she's got a win over Grasso at flyweight, albeit years and years ago.
Yeah.
She had a very, very long hiatus, and then she was scheduled to come back, I think, after 2 years of her hiatus, and then she got injured, and then it was another 2 years or something like that. So she was off for 4 years, but then came back and won a fight.
Yeah.
Very, very, very good wrestler. Very, very good top pressure.
Yeah.
She does lack in stand-up a little bit, or quite a bit, actually. And yeah, a lot of people consider her to be like one of the top prospects, either at 115 or 125.
Yeah.
So at strawweight or at flyweight. So Andrade as well, possibly past her best, I think. I mean, if you look at, she was up there for a while, but then if you look at like her record recently, especially with the 2 fights that she's lost, it's not going to be a walkover for me. So I'm going for Suarez, sub.
Yeah.
Although Andrade could get it done if she could keep it standing. And she is still tough. I mean, she is still like a previous top contender. But I'm going to go Suarez sub.
Yeah.
I think she gets her down. I think she uses her wrestling. I think she gets her top pressure and subs her.
Okay, before I say who I pick, just like a few things. They're both on the pound for pound, women's pound for pound. I think Andrade is 8 and Suarez is 15. And like, it's going to be a battle. I think that either Suarez loses her O here, or like Andrade ends her her title
aspirations.
Yes, absolutely. And like, I think it's gonna be a complete war. I think that Andrade, just the fury that she brings to a fight, and like just she is a BMF, you know, like she's going to be able to bring the fight so much, and if the fight isn't brought to her, she's going to be in Suarez's face the whole time. And I think that she can hang with her on the ground, honestly. I think that the thing that's going to be the biggest question for me, is her cardio, and if she can sustain that
Andrade's
output.
cardio.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if she can sustain the output that she's probably going to bring to the fight. That being said, Suarez as well, really, really great. Like she's got that win over Grasso, 10-fight win streak, 6-fight win streak in UFC. I have Andrade. I think she gets it with the O.
Andrade, she gets rid of Suarez O.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So we got one difference at least.
Yeah.
How does she get it done?
I think decision. I think she weathers the storm. I think if she gets taken to the ground, she slips out. I think she will be a bit bigger.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we get to the main event. You are allowed to go first. We got Corey Sandhagen fighting against Font. This is at a catch weight of 140.
Yeah.
I think Font is the 7th ranked, and I think Sandhagen's 3rd. I think something like that.
Yeah.
What are you saying for this one?
Sandhagen all the way. All the way. I think that.
What? Are you crazy? A bit of a delayed one. Yeah.
I think that it's going to be similar to the Edgar fight. I think that if I had to I think Corey's faced people like Font before, where it's just like super explosive, like technical, like good. I mean, he's there for a reason. I think the size is also going to play a big role. It is catch weight, and like Corey's going up, he's coming down. But I don't know. He deals so well with range, and that's kind of, you can't be explosive with just that much longer range. You'll telegraph your hits better or worse. I have Corey. And you?
Corey as well. I'm gonna go decision. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So first off, with Corey, like you say, I mean, it's only really Aljo that's dominated him.
Yeah.
He's fought all the top guys, and I mean, close losses. He's also really good all round. I know Font has good stand up. He's got very, very good stand up, but he's got low KO power, I feel, and he can be outstruck. He can definitely be outstruck. Yes. And I think Sandhagen is Sandhagen. He's just one of those guys, I really. So I'm going to go decision. Something just tells me it's going to be a decision. I don't know. Font is durable enough, I think, possibly. But Sandhagen, the thing with him is, like, I don't know, he needs to now, like, get in the title picture soon, because I don't want him to, like, wither away and have fights like these. Like, okay,
Yeah, but it's, I mean, if Font loses, he loses nothing, really.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about Sandhagen. What does he gain, really?
Yes, yeah. It's catch weight.
Yeah, so I just hope that, Corey to win this and then hopefully get discussed kind of in that title picture. But that title picture 135 is also...
So muddled.
I mean, you got Aljo, you got O'Malley, Yarn's around, who he lost to. Yeah. You've got Dariush as well. What am I saying?
No, that's Dariush. Yeah.
Marab.
Yeah.
Dariush.
Yeah.
Marab as well. So it's a muddled picture, So... And Sandhagen doesn't want to just be there to be there. I think he really obviously wants to be a champion. So I just really hope that they give... if Marab doesn't want to fight, Aljo doesn't go up, maybe you give the next fight to Sandhagen.
Yeah.
Get his chance to get some redemption against Aljo.
And all the props to him. Like, I think that with Umar pulling out, he probably just wanted to fight. And like, I'm sure Font was like the only one that was willing to fight.
And I mean, just before that, tracking back, just to want to take the fight with Umar, which is, I mean, a risk in itself. So, okay, so we have one difference. It's under Andrade and Suarez. So I'm going for Suarez, you're going for Andrade. I think that's a good place to call it. Tune in next week to see who takes home the belt. Please, again, as we said, please follow us on Spotify, on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere where our socials are down below. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, everybody.